Ready?
You glad this process is finally over?
You could say that, yeah, yeah. It's good to have what is a tentative deal, and it was a battle. You know, Gary said a month ago it was a tough negotiation. That's what it was. Players obviously would rather not have been here, but our focus now is to give the fans whatever it is, 48 games, 50 games, most exciting season we can, and that's what we're gonna.
Was the mood nervous at the start of the day? Did the mood lighten over the course of the night?
I don't know. The mood's been nervous for a while. You know, you want to be playing, you want to be done with this. So I don't know if it was any more or less, but I think you could tell we were making progress throughout the day.
Was there kind of a breakthrough moment that you thought, okay, this could get done before we leave the room tonight?
No, but we were making progress continually, you know, and that's something that obviously to make a deal, you have to continue to make progress till it's over. That finally happened today. We had other weeks. You guys have been around, obviously, where we made progress and talks broke off. And so as long as you continue to move forward, make progress, you feel like it's possible.
Ron, what was the impetus that pushed these two sides together after this long of a lockout? What was it that made the difference to push you towards a deal?
You know, there was more compromise, I guess. You know, when things seem to break off is when all compromise seems to end, and you know, everyone kind of says, "Well, I don't know what to do now." And if there's no other great idea, then things break off. That point just never came. We continued to make progress. We go back and forth. It took time. The pension is a very complicated issue that, with the language that they're writing, that is way beyond me. That takes time. If it goes, you know, if it gets revised back and forth, it just takes time. And you know, when the people we have doing it are so key to everything we do, that's something that was able to slow it down a little bit.
Was that the final hurdle or the biggest hurdle tonight?
That was not the final. It's the language. It's a tentative deal. The language on the pension is not final. We think there's nothing left substantial to fix, but you know, there's lawyers who do that. The players aren't doing that, and quite frankly, Gary and Bill and they're, you know, aren't doing it either. But that was an issue for the players that this deal would not get done without.
Ron, are the players happy about this deal?
Well, they'll have to vote on it, so I'll let you know after we do that.
Was the pension the last thing that you had to work out before, you know, you finished?
What we've been working on for a while is the language of the pension. Okay, the premise that the players were going to do this without this new pension was not going to happen, and we made that clear early on. But we were continuing to move on all of the issues all the way to the end. Those weren't final until the last proposal was made and accepted.
Ron, obviously, you guys made a lot of concessions based off of the last CBA. Where are there areas that you move forward on this as a union?
I don't think I'm understanding the question.
You're giving back a lot of money, going from 57% to 50-50,
okay,
and you know, contract lengths and all of that. Where's a good takeaway for the players that this makes it a good deal?
I don't think there's any doubt the pension is the centerpiece of this deal for the players, and that's not the only thing. There's other things that we were able to hold on to as far as free agency age. Arbitration rights, there's a lot more of other things, but as far as a centerpiece thing that the players are going to be able to be really rally around and be proud of, I would say the pension without question.
So does that mean the status quo has been upheld, or what changes are there going to be to the pension?
No, it's not status quo, but I'm not going to get into the fine details of it right now.
How excited are you just to get to practice?
That will be a good day.
Well, why was the mediator in the process?
You know, Scott was great for a number of reasons. It didn't. You would have hoped it would have, the first time we would have met with him in Jersey, that, you know, it would have gone where you want it to go. But he does what he can do at the time, and if he feels there's no point based on the positions, you know, he says, well, there's no more point. And so that's kind of where those always break off. It's really not more complicated than that. And this time, as I said earlier, even though he was in the room, the process continued to move forward. And when it got to points, it wasn't like it was just a smooth ride. When it got to points where you didn't know what to do next, or you had an idea, but you didn't know if it might upset the other side or whatever, you could go to him, talk to him about it, and there was a way to work your ideas through a third party who was able to really help the process.
Guys, we're going to do 2 more questions. They're going to bring in Shane Hill.
Once you get to the ratification stage on both sides, Board of Governors and the players, Ron, is there still a possibility that the deal might get scuttled or held up?
Well, we have to, there's a long way to go. We got to finish the language on some things tomorrow morning. Again, it's a tentative deal. We think we'll be able to cross all the T's and I's tomorrow. Then you got to explain it to the players. Then you got to vote on it. There's still a little bit of process to go here. But those of us here tonight thought this was a deal the players could accept and ratify.
Did the